with Tourney Locator's own Oracle and Geo.
All right.
Who, by the way, beat Oracle in Rob Dittos
Really?
last week.
I didn't think that was possible.
I didn't either, but Geo surprised us all.
Has Geo been coming up here on Fridays?
He's been coming out every time he can and improving massively.
Good. That's what you need to do.
He's had quite a few runs at first, but he just keeps getting stopped by some of the really, really good players out here, like AeroLink and Denti.
Yeah, there's some good players. I have those guys and Dakbo. iiGGY's good, too.
We'll see if Geo teaming up with Oracle can overcome the obstacle that is iiGGY and AeroLink. And it looks like
So double Robs.
double Rob, and they're going with Palutena and Mega Man, as AeroLink predicted. He didn't want to go Rosalina and Luma versus two Robs. This
Why?
is going to be mostly because both Robs have a very strong camping game. They can send out projectiles. They can keep Luma out. And she's a very slow to go character. She's not going to have a good time against two Robs.
Okay.
Mega Man, meanwhile, can move around a little bit easier.
A little quicker.
And he has a little bit more combo potential that you just don't get with Rosalina and Luma.
So what are the strengths of the Rob character?
Rob actually is he's very hard to kill. He has a really good recovery, and most strong moves will actually not kill him as easily as other characters. He'll just live forever. It won't be unusual to see a Rob at 200%. And with the rage mechanic in this game, that means more strength added to his moves.
Okay. Yeah, that's one thing I have noticed about this game. It just seems to get a higher kill percentage for a lot of the characters, especially Rob.
Some people have they don't like the rage mechanic. They think it rewards bad play. The way that I see it is, it rewards you for living, and it punishes your opponent for failing to close out when they need to.
So how does the rage mechanic kick in?
Rage mechanic starts kicking in when somebody reaches 50%, and then it increases your knockback of all of your moves.
Okay.
I believe it stops at 170 something. It's a really weird number to stop at.
Okay.
But below 200. But when you're at around 200%, your moves have an insanely increased knockback. You'll see some crazy early kills. But it looks like the match right now is pretty even, with Mega Man hanging on to his third stock, but Palutena only on her last already. But overall, everyone has four stocks.
Yep.
Both Rob and Mega Man, Rob being Oracle Rob, and iiGGY and Mega Man are stock tanking really well. They have very high percent, but they're holding on. It looks like the green team is really trying to control center stage. They're keeping Geo out and away, and they're keeping just control of the center. They want to keep Rob approaching them so they can punish his unsafe approaches. But it looks like they just got a kill on Mega Man.
From my limited experience in this, though, it seems like Rob has a pretty good, you call this an edge game? Or,
yes, he does have a very good edge game.
So maybe playing the center is probably not the best thing for them?
It really depends. So Rob does have a good edge game. That means he can make it back really well. But controlling center is almost always the option, because you know, if you're in the center, it's harder to die because you're further away from the blast zone.
All right.
And then if your opponent has to approach you, that means if they mess up, you can punish it.
Okay.
So forcing your opponent into doing options is very, very powerful in this game. And it looks like green team snuck ahead with a lead right here, KOing Rob at what had to be very early percents for Rob. Palutena holding on to dear life with that last stock she has. And she's out, but she can share stock. She just reached into Mega Man's purse and stole that stock from him. But they're teammates, so that's okay.
So is that option up to her or up to Mega Man?
It's up to her, but generally you want to ask your partner beforehand.
Right.
But
it's always better to have both players on the screen.
A 2v2 situation is always better than a 2v1.
Okay.
Because they can just keep you pinned down and make it so you have no options. Now it looks like the green team has the percent lead right now, but given that the rage mechanic and how long Rob can live, the game seems not, I was going to say it's kind of even, but now in a 2v1 situation, Rob is not going to have a good time. Mega Man was on the offensive with Palutena hanging back and saying, you got this, and if you don't got this, I can come in and just snag it for you.
Pretty even all the way through. That's good.
Was
That's a good match.
a very close match until that one star KO on Geo, leading it to a 2v1 situation that is, they're certainly doable, but very, very difficult to come back from.
So you think they'll probably stay with the same players?
I think, given the characters I know these people play, I think that they're going to end up staying.
It looks like they did.
Because as far as stages, I didn't even have time to speculate. They knew exactly what they wanted.
Yep.
They're going straight to Final Destination. And it looks like... Now, I'm really interested to see how these two Robs play, if they have the same exact play style, or if one of them's going to be more of a hang back and stock tank, and one of them's going to be aggressive. Because traditionally, in a double setting, Rob is what you would call the stock tank character.
Okay.
He'll take the damage, and he'll lean back and, pester the opponents with his projectiles, but he won't be super aggressive. He'll leave his teammate to do the killing. But
It's got to be difficult to do with two Robs.
With two Robs, though,
you got to have an aggressive one.
One of them has to be aggressive. And it looks like they might just both be having to wait and pick their options. And again, it looks like Green Team is controlling center stage, but I don't know if controlling is the right word. Oh, maybe it is. Because I was going to say, those Robs are pinning them down with projectiles, but the projectiles, as long as they're getting shielded, don't do much.
Okay. Do you know, does Oracle or Geo have a second player that they like to play with? Or
Geo has a plethora of characters that he could go. I believe he has a Luigi and a Mr. Game & Watch, which is a character we don't see a lot in singles, but actually is a much better character in doubles, especially with Rob, because Rob can power up his bucket attack, which is basically Rob shoots a laser at Master Game & Watch. He can catch the laser, and that powers up a move that once he catches enough lasers, you can just shoot a bucket of oil, and it's very strong depending on what projectiles power it up. Meanwhile, Oracle has a Bowser Jr. that we saw just last game, but it looks like they might not be needing it because they are, if only very slightly, ahead of the Green Team right now. They figured out what problems they were having, and then they forgot what they needed to do to fix it because Palutena just took out Rob's stock and it's back to even. Oh, I'm sorry, not back to even.
Oh, wow.
It is definitively actually in the Rob's favor. It's 4 stocks to 2. I think the stage has helped them out a lot. They've been able to pin Palutena and Mega Man in a spot where they don't want to be. So even though...
What's different about this stage than the last stage, from my information?
There are no platforms.
Okay.
So they have nowhere to jump and escape to.
Okay.
It's just a very flat battlefield. And even if they think they're controlling center stage, that means that they're stuck in between two characters that can fire projectiles at them. It's generally any character with projectiles has a much better time in this stage because the opponent can do less to get away from them.
So even if you have platforms, though, as far as there goes Mega Man.
And now it's a 2v1 situation with 4 stocks to 1, and it looks like Geo and Oracle are just going to work on their 2v1 team combos. We're just going to be playing with their food for a little bit. It may take a while, but Palutena will eventually die.
Couple of cats and a mouse, yes.
I don't see an outcome where Palutena happens to make it. Crazier things have happened, but this is 4 stocks to 1. There
we go.
Now, if Palutena makes this out, I might have to literally walk over to AeroLink and give him some money out of my wallet.
If anybody could do it, he's
true.
one of them.
But the thing about Rob is he has free KOs off of his throws at high enough %. So it just takes 1 grab, and when you have 2 Robs to fight against, they can set up with it really easy. So I wasn't very worried for Geo and Oracle, and that's 1 game to each of them now.
There we go. Last game, 2 out of 3.
That is correct. We've been doing 2 out of 3 winners, grands, losers for a little while here to just
helps
keep
the game
tournament
flow.
Run.
Yeah. I kind of miss the 3 out of 5, at least in the last couple of rounds myself, because I like seeing the big long resets. You know,
I
especially
think it's
when
really, really exciting to see a player just come back from a really long, hard-fought battle.
Absolutely. Since we've got such great players here for Smash 4,
It
real
does
blessed
help
with it.
the tournaments run
I think so.
smoother and
Yeah.
keep us from staying out way too late.
Yeah. Well, when we get to the summertime, when we're starting to see even 50, 60, 70 players, it's going to be this is going to be a godsend.
We might not be shouting for 3 out of 5.
No,
we'll
I
instead
doubt
be
it.
saying, "Can we just play best of ones and get out of here?"
One stock, one game. Yeah.
Oh. But it looks like Mega Man might be changing his custom set. I don't know much about Mega Man's customs, but that essentially changes up his special moves a little bit.
Okay.
Just probably depending on the matchup.
And then green team gets to pick the stage this time.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe red team gets 2 bans, or maybe 1 ban in game 3. But they get to ban the stages they don't want to go to, and then green team decides, all right, well then I'll go to this one.
Okay.
So Final Destination did really good for the Double Rob team. I'm wondering why they're going to Duck Hunt then, because this, to me, seems just like a really big Final Destination with
that's
walls.
what I was going to say.
There are a few platforms that can mess up their projectiles just a little bit.
So in the trees or?
Yeah.
Okay.
The trees, actually all of those tree bushes are platforms, and this bush over here is actually a platform.
Okay.
And if you shoot all the ducks, it's just like classic Duck Hunt. The dog will rise up from behind, and he serves
He's
as
a
a platform right
okay.
there. But it looks like, ooh, Mega Man and Palutena are doing some pretty cool team combos. There was a back air, knocked Geo into an up air, and then followed into Mega Man's up air. They definitely have some solid team synergy. I think AeroLink and iiGGY might be the only players I know who practice teams actively.
Really? Okay.
They might be a solid contender for first place at Aftershock. We'll see. That Metal Blade got caught on that dog's ear. That's amazing.
I'm surprised a lot of my players aren't here tonight. I know Dakbo's really good as well, and can't wait to see all these guys out at Aftershock as well. It should be really fun.
All them versus the big hitters from everywhere else.
Man, I can't believe some of the guys we've got for them.
I believe we got Zero, who's thought to be the best in the world. We have just a plethora of amazing Smash 4 players.
So we got Mega Man at 130%. Pretty
and he's
even.
Holding on to his first stock really well. I think that's Mega Man performing, similar to Rob's job, the stock tank, where he'll just hold on to that stock.
Okay.
We saw in the first game, Mega Man had 3 stocks and Palutena had 1.
That's right.
It's mostly so that Palutena can go in and be aggressive, while Mega Man can hang back and, throw his projectile game. And then, if Palutena runs out of stock, she can just borrow one of Mega Man's.
There goes Mega Man's first stock.
But it took a lot of work for them to get that stock. And if it takes them that much work to get all the others, then red team might be having a tough time. That said, this game is pretty even. There's only slight percent differences, but those can be made up in a matter of seconds in this game. And there we go. Rob has lost his second stock. It's now 3-4. But the Robs are trying to pin the green team onto the right side of the stage. They don't want them to be able to move freely. The green team says, nah, I just want to go where I want to go. They got out of that situation. That was a nice spot dodge. Oracle read the approach from the Palutena and killed him with an up smash. A very strong kill option for Rob.
So can the ducks actually get in the way?
They don't get in the way, but if you do hit them, it brings up the platform, and that can get in the way.
Okay.
And you can be really strategic about it, and if you really know the stage, you can time it so that your opponent gets caught in a move that they didn't think they would get caught in, all because of that platform.
Okay.
They might be trying to air dodge through an attack you're throwing out, and suddenly the platform raises up, they land it, and they get hit. Now, it looks like, while I was saying earlier, Rob is actually a stock tank character. He likes to hang back. He actually has some pretty amazing kill options, like that up smash. He has a very strong up air, reminiscent of Diddy Kong's up air in power. He also has a down throw combo into it, go figure. But he has quite a few kill options for somebody who's supposed to stock tank. So I think Double Rob is actually a really cool team because they can just kind of switch gears when they need to, if they want to hang back or if they want to be aggressive.
I think they're one of the more balanced characters in Smash
I
4?
would say they're pretty balanced as far as what they're able to do.
Okay.
He's got a really solid recovery, really solid projectiles, and he can come in when he needs to.
All right, so we got Oracle.
It looks like a 2v1 situation, but this is not completely out of the picture. With Rob being able to live what he can, and with the two characters at the percents they are, given the rage factor, if Rob gets an early kill here, it's just a 1v1 situation. But like I said, when it's a 2v1, if you have a grab setup that leads to a kill, often it's a very tough situation to get out of.
And you're going up against Sergio.
Yeah, it's true.
So.
That's 3 things against you.
Yeah, right.